Some people grow up without feeling truly loved, not just without affection, but without emotional safety, without consistency, without warmth, without the feeling that someone was really paying attention to them. And this kind of childhood does not disappear when the person becomes an adult. It becomes a pattern. It appears in the way they love, the way they trust, the way they ask for help, the way they react to silence, the way they choose relationships, and the way they see themselves. Psychology shows that children build their sense of self through their early relationships. A child learns, "I matter," when someone responds to them with care. A child learns, "My feelings are safe," when someone listens without rejection. A child learns, "I can trust," when love is stable. But when love is cold, absent, inconsistent, or conditional, the child learns something else. They learn that needing someone can be dangerous. They learn that affection can disappear. They learn that emotions may be too much. They learn that love has to be earned. And because children usually cannot understand that the environment is emotionally limited, they often blame themselves. They do not think, "The adults around me did not know how to love me." They think, "Maybe I am not lovable," and that belief can follow them for years. One common pattern in people who are not loved in childhood is the need to earn love. They become useful, helpful, quiet, responsible, easy to be around. They try not to bother anyone. They try to read people's moods. They try to become what others need. From the outside, this can look like kindness or maturity, but underneath, there may be fear. If I am useful, maybe they will stay. If I do not ask for much, maybe I will be chosen. If I take care of everyone, maybe someone will finally take care of me. This is how a person can confuse being needed with being loved. They may feel safe only when they are giving. They may feel guilty when they receive. They may feel anxious when they are not doing anything to prove their value. Because love does not feel natural. It feels like something they must maintain. Another pattern is accepting too little. People who were not loved in childhood may accept emotional crumbs in adulthood. A little attention, a little affection, a little consistency, a little effort, and they may feel grateful for the minimum, not because they do not want more, but because little feels familiar. If someone grew up with emotional absence, instability may feel normal. They may not ask, "Is this relationship healthy?" They may ask, "At least this person is still here." That is how childhood pain can shape adult standards. The person may tolerate coldness, excuse distance, chase unavailable people, and give deep love to someone who gives very little back. This does not mean they are weak. It means their nervous system learned to survive on inconsistency. When love was rare in childhood, rare affection in adulthood can feel powerful. But familiar is not the same as healthy, and what feels normal is not always what you deserve. Another common pattern is difficulty trusting. People who were not loved consistently often want closeness, but fear it at the same time. They want connection, but they expect pain. They want to trust, but they look for signs of rejection. They want to relax, but their body stays alert. This can show up as overthinking, testing people, fear of abandonment, emotional withdrawal, or choosing people who are not fully available. Healthy love may feel strange at first. Calm love may feel boring. Consistency may feel suspicious. Kindness may feel uncomfortable, not because the person does not want love, but because their body does not recognize safety yet. The mind may say, "This is okay," but the nervous system may still ask, "When will this disappear?" That is why healing is not just understanding the past. It is teaching the body that the present can be different. Another effect is guilt for having needs. A child who is ignored, criticized, or rejected may learn to hide what they feel. They may learn not to cry, not to ask, not to need, not to be too emotional, not to create problems. Later, as adults, they may apologize for normal human needs. They apologize for needing reassurance, for being tired, for asking questions, for feeling hurt, for wanting care. They may say, "I'm fine," even when they are not. They may say, "Don't worry about me," even when they need support. They may become extremely independent, but sometimes that independence is not freedom. It is disappointment turned into a personality. They learned not to expect anyone, so they stopped asking. And yes, this can make them strong. but it can also make them exhausted, because always being strong is not the same as being safe. People who were not loved in childhood may also fear being truly seen. They want connection, but they hide their deeper self. They become funny instead of vulnerable, helpful instead of honest, calm instead of needy, strong instead of scared. They may show people only the version of themselves that feels acceptable, because deep down, they fear that if someone sees the real them, they will leave. This creates a painful kind of loneliness, because being liked is not the same as being known, and being useful is not the same as being loved. A person can have relationships and still feel unseen if they are always performing. Another pattern is emotional hypervigilance. People who were not loved in childhood often become very sensitive to changes in other people's moods. They notice a different tone, a delayed message, a shorter reply, a facial expression, a shift in energy. This may look like overreaction, but often it began as survival. As children, they had to read the room to know what was safe, when to speak, when to stay quiet, when to disappear, when not to ask for anything. So the nervous system learned to scan for danger. In adulthood, this can become exhausting. They may feel responsible for everyone's mood. They may think they caused someone's distance. They may try to fix tension immediately. They may feel unsafe when someone is quiet, because their body remembers an old rule. If I can predict the change, I can protect myself. But adult relationships cannot feel safe if every silence becomes a threat. Another important pattern is pushing people away before they can leave. Some people respond to childhood emotional neglect by clinging. Others respond by avoiding. They keep distance. They act like they do not care. They leave first. They tell themselves they do not need anyone. But often, the real sentence underneath is, I do not know how to need someone without getting hurt. Avoidance is often mistaken for coldness. But many avoidant people are not cold. They are protected. They want connection. But when connection becomes real, fear appears. They may feel trapped, irritated, suspicious, or suddenly disconnected. Not because love is unwanted, but because love feels risky. This is why people who were not loved in childhood can have confusing relationship patterns. They want closeness, then they fear it. They want to be chosen. Then they distrust the person who chooses them. They want peace. Then peace feels unfamiliar. The nervous system does not always choose what is healthy. It often chooses what is familiar. And healing means learning a new emotional language. People who were not loved in childhood may also overgive. They listen to everyone, help everyone, remember everyone's needs, carry everyone's emotions. They become the reliable one, the strong one, the person others count on. But sometimes, underneath all that giving, there is a hidden fear. If I stop giving, will I still matter? Overgiving can look like love, but sometimes it is a way to feel secure. If I am needed, I have a place. If I am useful, I will not be forgotten. If I give enough, maybe I will not be abandoned. But real love cannot depend only on usefulness. You should not have to become empty in order to be kept. Another important point is that kindness may feel uncomfortable to someone who was not loved well. A stable person may feel strange. A calm relationship may feel unfamiliar. A compliment may be hard to receive. A kind gesture may make them suspicious. Because if someone did not grow up with emotional safety, safety may not feel natural at first. It may feel unknown, and the nervous system often prefers familiar pain over unfamiliar peace. This is why some people return to painful patterns. Not because they want to suffer, but because pain they recognize feels easier to predict than peace they do not trust yet. Healing begins when they start asking different questions. Is this love, or is this familiarity? Do I feel safe, or just attached? Am I choosing this person, or repeating an old wound? Am I loved, or only needed? Am I being cared for, or am I performing again? These questions matter, because they interrupt the automatic pattern. One of the biggest shifts in healing is separating the past from the present. The past says, you are too much. The present can say, my needs are human. The past says, you have to earn love. The present can say, healthy love is not a reward. The past says, do not trust anyone. The present can say, I can learn discernment without closing my heart. The past says, you were not loved because you were not enough. The present can say, I was a child. I deserved care. This does not happen overnight. The nervous system does not change just because the mind understands. A person can know they deserve love and still struggle to receive it. They can know they are safe and still feel alert. They can know the past is over and still react as if it is happening again. That does not mean healing is failing. It means healing takes repetition, safe experiences, better boundaries, healthier relationships, self-awareness, and patience. There is one truth that people who were not loved in childhood often need to hear more than once. The absence of love was not proof that you were unlovable. It was proof that something was missing in the environment. A child should not have to become perfect to be loved. A child should not have to be useful to be noticed. A child should not have to be quiet to be accepted. A child should not have to hide sadness to keep peace. A child should not have to earn tenderness. When love is missing, the child does not become unworthy. The child becomes wounded, and wounded people do not need more shame. They need understanding, the people-pleasing, the emotional scanning, the overgiving, the fear of needing, the attraction to unavailable people, the urge to disappear when things become intimate, the belief that you must be easy to be chosen. These patterns may have protected you before, but they do not have to define your whole life. You can learn another way. You can learn to receive care without apologizing. You can learn to ask for reassurance without shame. You can learn to choose consistency over intensity. You can learn to stop confusing anxiety with love. You can learn to let someone see you without performing. You can learn that your needs are not a burden. You can learn that being loved does not require becoming smaller. And maybe healing means this: to stop living as if you are still trying to be chosen by the people who could not love you properly. To stop asking unavailable people to prove your worth. To stop repeating the wound and calling it love, and to begin asking a different question. Not, how can I become lovable? But, what would my life look like if I believed I already was? Because people who were not loved in childhood often spend years searching for evidence that they are enough. But they were already enough. They were just in an environment that could not reflect that back to them. The psychology of people who were not loved in childhood is not only about pain, it is about adaptation. It is about how the mind learns to survive without emotional safety. Some people learn to please. Some learn to shut down. Some learn to overachieve. Some learn to need no one. Some chase unavailable love. Some run from real closeness. Some accept too little. Some give too much. But behind many of these patterns is the same question: am I worthy of love without proving anything? And the answer is yes. Even if it takes time to believe. Even if your body still resists it. Even if part of you still feels like love must be earned. The answer is still yes. You were not hard to love. You were a child who needed love. And healing begins when you stop blaming the child for what the environment failed to give. If this video helped you understand yourself or someone you know, leave a comment with the part that felt most familiar. And if you want to keep exploring the hidden psychology behind human behavior, childhood wounds, emotional patterns, and the way the mind protects itself, subscribe to the channel. Because sometimes, what we call personality is actually an old wound trying to feel safe. And once we understand the wound, we can begin to choose something different.